Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, my name is Ruby Yakvaditya Narayan, Class 4C of English Education Department in State Islamic University UIN Syarif Hidayatullah Jakarta with student number 064. Today I will review 10 articles that I have read before and I will give you some information and result of the articles. Okay, this is my article summary. Okay, this is the list of the articles. First is improving student vocabulary mastery by using total physical response by Fahru Rozi. Second is the Duolingo English test by Wagner Elvis, Anthony John Cunan. The third is reconceptualizing speaking, listening, and pronunciation, localizing TESOL in the context of world Englishes and English as a lingua franca by Sang Art. Fourth is oral corrective feedback, pre-service English as a second language teachers, belief and practice by Kerchava Eva, Gatbonton Elizabeth, Amar Ahlem, Trofimovic Pavel. The fifth, visual learning, a learner-centered approach to ancient English language teaching by Philomin Roch Andrew, Jawaban David, Fidel Silva Christian. The sixth is the impact of electronic mind maps on student reading comprehension by Mohaidat Muhammad Mahmud Talal. The seventh, how suitable are TED Talks for academic listening by Peter Wingrove. The eighth, the TESOL Encyclopedia of English Language Teaching to Use of Technology in Teaching Speaking Skills by Leontas John, Deli Carpini, Margo. The ninth is Teaching English to Second Language Learner in Academic Context by Xiwei Liu, Yingshuang Luo, Xin Yu Hu. The last article is Prosal Complexity in Academic Writing, a comparison of abstract writing by graduate students and expert writer in Applied Linguistics by Ahmad Ansarifar, Hesamuddin, Syahriari, Reza Piksdam. Okay, to the first article. Improving student vocabulary mastery by using total physical response by Fahru Rozi. Okay, the purpose of the research is to describe how total physical response improves students' vocabulary learning outcomes, because the negative attitude of students on English would have a negative impact on the learning process in the classroom. The poor learning in the classroom will eventually result in lower vocabulary learning outcomes of students. Therefore, the process of learning English needs special attention. The result is TPR, implementation in the classroom to improve learning outcomes of students' vocabulary by making the vocabulary of students physically active students through role modeling that can be translated to students as the meaning of a word in the English language so that the students' understanding of vocabulary increases. Next, the second article, the Duolingo English Test by Wagner Elvis and Anthony John Cunan. Purpose of this article is this article provides a critical conceptual review of the Duolingo English Test, or DET, and explore possible consequences of its use for university admission purposes. Because the DET is very new, the only published research article supporting its claim is YE 2014, but this study was commissioned by Duolingo and is not peer-reviewed. In addition, there is very little publicly available material about the development of the test of the model of language ability that is purports to be assessing. The authors decided to critique the test because of the high-profile nature of the test and its potential to have a disruptive influence, positive and negative, on the language testing industry. Okay, the result of this article is the DAT has many tests that focus on pronunciation, grammar, and receptive vocabulary knowledge but do not involve, require, or assess tests. Takers' cognitive or interactional competence, the test takers do not have to compose and produce any language, speaking or writing, nor do they have to comprehend the meaning of spoken or written input, reading and listening comprehension. The deity seem to completely ignore decades of accumulated knowledge and research about how language are best learned and how language proficiency can best be assessed. The third article is reconceptualizing speaking, listening, and pronunciation, globalizing TESOL in the context of world Englishes and English as a lingua franca by Sang Art. The purpose of this article is in many TESOL classrooms, globally standard native like English accents are ubiquitous and predominant in a lot of materials such as listening, exercises, and in pronunciation lesson even today. Prescriptivism and L1 norms are still omnipresent in textbooks, classrooms, curricula, and assessment rubrics. For instance, the right and wrong pronunciation, the negligence of accents, which students are equally likely to encounter both nationally and internationally in addition to standard accent, and prescriptive wording such as native-like pronunciation in assessment forms. The result of this article is the reconceptualization should be specific to the context TESOL educators are working at. Counterintuitive as it seems, globalization of syllabi is all the more important in an ever-globalizing world where learners and teachers may well find the kaleidoscope of accent and Englishes overwhelming. Taking into account learners' unique needs is therefore of paramount importance and is a useful vantage point. The fourth article is Oral Corrective Feedback, Pre-Service English as a Second Language Teachers, Belief and Practice by Karchava Eva, Gatbonton Elizabeth, Amar Ahlem, Trofimovich Pavel. The purpose of the research is to suggest the pre-service language teachers carry beliefs about CV and its different types from their own learning into their teaching. The limited knowledge they possess about how, when, and in what amounts to provide feedback, however, prevents them from reconciling their belief with classroom practices, leading them to behave as native speaking interlocutors, not as a language teacher. The result is the finding of this study suggests the pre-service language teacher carry beliefs about CF and its different types from their own learning into their teaching. The limited knowledge they possess about how, when, and in what amounts to provide feedback, however, prevents them from reconciling their beliefs with classroom practices, leading them to behave as native speaking interlocutors, not as language teachers. The fifth article is Visual Learning, a learner-centered approach to ancient English language teaching by Pilomin Raj Andrew, Giabalan David, and Fidel Silva Christian. The purpose of this article is development of visual learning English. The Bauhaus Basic Design course was a source of inspiration that has played an important role in the stylistic development of visual practices in the 20th centuries. It provides a coherent pedagogical program based on what looked like a scientific basis, and most importantly, it is used as a basic introductory course in most of the College of Art in the field of visual communication and learning. This course can be seen as an important contribution to great many practices in contemporary visual communication. The result of this article is the result indicate that visual learning is an essential part of the overall experience that the learners gains towards the processes of language learning. Also, it's constituted a vital process of input and interaction for the learner, ensuring that his needs, necessities as aspiration are taken into account and by making him involved through this journey learning. The sixth article, the impact of electronic mind maps on student, reading comprehension by Muhammad Mahmud Talal Muhaidat. The purpose of this study is to finding out the effect of using electronic mind maps on the development of non-grade students' reading comprehension in English language and compare the strategy with the traditional method of teaching based on the teacher guide assigned by Ministry of Education in Jordan. It also aimed to reveal the size of the effect caused by application of the electronic mind maps in understanding English text. The result of this article is the main finding of the study showed a statistically significant difference between the mean scores of the control and experimental groups in the reading comprehension post-test in favor of the experimental group. The positive impact of the experimental group's development in reading comprehension might be attributed to the use of the electronic mind maps in understanding the text, analyzing them, and understanding the main and sub-ideas. The seventh article is How Suitable Are TED Talks for Academic Listening by Peter Wingrove. The purpose of this research is to know more about the comprehension of TED Talks with lecturer discourse. There is evidence to suggest that TED Talks are being increasingly used in ELT classroom. The logic that if TED is good, more TED must be better was applied to the keynote series, which shifted TED Talks to be primary focus in material design and won the British Council ELT on Awards of Excellence in Cross Design in 2016. What makes a TED Talk? Amitan, the novelist and Reeves the Poet, both TED speakers report that when selected to give a TED Talk, speakers are sent a stone tablet of 10 TED commandments. The result is the major finding of this study are how suitable are TED Talks for academic listening. In order to answer this question, a comparative baseline of lectural discourse mean AVL, the representation was established. It was found to be between 5.64% and 7.01%, which the TED Talks corpus means failed to adequately meet at 3.70% and 5.70%. Although some talks due to the wide range of TED Talks did meet and sometimes surpassed the lectural discourse baseline. By mean average, lecturer had 43% more academic vocabulary compared to TED Talks and 25% more when entertainment talks were removed. The eighth article, the TESOL Encyclopedia of English Language Teaching, Use of Technology in Teaching Speaking Skills by Leontas John and Deli Karpini Margo. The purpose of this research, many of the hardware devices available on the market, such as standalone computers, laptops, mobile devices such as phone and tablets, or hybrid computers with microphones, speakers, and camera are suitable for speaking text in language learning. And the result of this article is, although much of the software is free or available for a small fee, it is important for teachers to pay attention to copyright issues by checking online for downloads and accessing software directly from the providers. Software license and term of use for all AVM and digital software should be checked. In addition, if teachers are using homemade videos featuring students or other English learners, it is important to remember that students' rights and safety issues needs to be addressed. The ninth article is the Teaching English to Second Language Learner in Academic Context by Siwei Liu, Yinsua Luo, Xinyue Hu. The purpose of the research is although the field of EAP, English for academic purposes, has been extensively investigated, there is not yet a collection that offers both theoretical and pedagogical perspectives for each language skills like reading, writing, listening, and speaking. The result is major findings of the research. Despite some trivial drawbacks, we still strongly recommend this volume, for it incorporates the fundamentals of the 4 basic skills into a single volume. Moreover, it is a timely handbook for EAP teachers to improve L2 students' academic competence by teaching overall language skills. And the last article is Prosa Complexity in Academic Writing, a comparison of abstracts written by graduate students and expert writers in applied linguistics by Ahmad Ansarifar, Hesamadin Shahriarizi, Reza Pichkhadam. The purpose of this research is to compare abstract by MA level L1 Persian writer, PhD level L1 Persian writer, and published writer from the field of applied linguistics in the terms of parcel modification features. The result revealed that prosa complexity in abstracts by both L1 Persian and expert writers arose primarily from their use attributive adjective, prepositional versus as postmodifiers, and known as premodifiers. Corroborating by Burr et al. 2011 claimed that in academic prose, meaning is for the most part condensed into complex noun parts rather than being expressed in clause form. Okay, that's the summary of the article I read before. I hope you guys enjoy the videos. Thank you for watching. Bye.